Hey folks, and welcome to another video of mine. Now I know you folks have been looking forward to this gaming video review of mine about the Samsung AU9070, and I'm really excited to bring this video to you lovely folks. Now I've had the opportunity to test this television for over a week now, and just to give you a few facts, number one, I do not have any of the current gen consoles like Series S, X or the PS5. In fact, I don't even have a PC. So my test results today have been on the PS4 Pro console. So I just wanted to get that out to you lovely folks so that you know the gaming kit that I was working with. In this case, the PS4 Pro. And I've tried out different settings on this television. And in fact, at the end of these various tests that I did, I was quite surprised with the results that I got. Now, in case you're wondering, what are those results? Well, that's exactly why they are here. You'll get to find that out towards the end of the video. So stay tuned till the end of the video and you will get to know exactly what the surprising fact was. With that said, let's get started, folks. Okay, folks, so the first thing that we're going to start with is the very fact that this TV has a dedicated game settings panel. That's right. All you got to do is long press this play and pause button on your TV remote. So again, you long press this and you will get this dedicated game settings panel. Let's quickly go over a few of the things. Now, one of the things that you would have noticed is that right now, since this is in game mode, and by the way, whenever you switch your console on, there is an option of keeping it on auto game mode, means that you don't have to switch between the TV mode and the game mode. As soon as you switch the console on, it will automatically detect that it's connected to a gaming console and the game mode will come right on. Now, as soon as you bring this panel up, there are a few things that I wanted to talk about. The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that here you see you can actually check the input lag. Now there are different input lag status. You have fast, you have fastest. Right now it's in fastest because this is the game mode after all. Now you can also check out the frames per second, which is your FPS here. This game is currently, a 4K game, and the TV is running this at 60 frames per second. Although, natively it might be 4K 30 because it's still a PS4 Pro and it's not a PS5. Apart from that, the HDR, it gives you the status of whether it's on or off. Currently it's on. Then you also have something called the VRR, which is your variable refresh rate. This comes handy if you have connected this television to a PC or to an Xbox Series S and X, because they are capable of having content pushed out with this variable refresh rate. So I'm just going to pull that up again. Sorry, I just press the back button. All right. Okay, so now apart from that, it gives you the status or details about your sound output. In this case, it's a TV speaker, but this television does come with eARC as well. So in case you want to connect it to a sound system, you can enjoy that benefit as well. Now, here are some of the cool things that you can actually do on this TV, provided you have connected this to a PC. Now, you have different aspect ratios here. Number one, you have the 16:9 aspect ratio, which is your default aspect ratio. Well, apart from that, you have 21:9 aspect ratio, and you even have a 32:9 aspect ratio. So for all professional gamers, who want to have that wide aspect ratio where you can see more of what you're doing in these games, then you have these options. But as soon as you click it, it says this feature is available only when the source is PC, as you can see. So you need to connect it to a PC to be able to enjoy the different aspect ratios. Now, when you do put it on these different aspect ratios, you might see that, there are big black bars on top and at the bottom. And what the screen position helps you do is it helps you to adjust that picture. So in case you want to move that picture, instead of being centered, you want to move it at the top of the screen, then the screen position feature helps you do that. All right. Apart from that, you have dedicated game mode settings. And before I get into that, there's troubleshooting as well, in case you want to know something about, what these different aspect ratios are. It just gives you information about that. So I'm not going to, deep dive into that and, tell you what it is exactly and read from the screen. But there's that troubleshooting aspect as well there. Now the game mode settings has a few features going for it. Number one, you can switch it on, off, or keep it on auto. Apart from that, you have your game HDR, which is currently on, and then you have your game motion plus settings. Now in your game motion plus settings, you have game motion plus, okay? And what this helps you do is it helps you control the judder. So now if you switch it on, you can actually control the judder, which is nothing but your MEMC. And you can set this judder to 5, 10, or whatever you want. There is an option of LED clear motion as well, but I do not switch it on because what I've realized or what I've noticed is as soon as I switch this on, it has a very bad backlight flickering, happening. And I'll just show you as well. I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but the backlight is flickering. Also, it dims down the panel, so the brightness of the TV reduces overall. I don't like this option, and I would recommend that you mostly keep this off. All right. So now when I have kept the judder at 10, let's come back here. Just want to show you quickly. Oops. Now when you keep the judder at 10, you notice how the input lag has changed from fastest to fast. All right. So it does have some kind of an effect, so you have to tweak around with this TV and find the optimal setting. But now that we have taken a look at this panel, let's get into some of the settings and how it impacts your gaming video quality. So we're gonna take a look at that. I'm gonna play maybe 3 different games in different settings, and at the end of this activity, I will let you know that which was the best setting that I found works for this TV, and that works in harmony with your console. So that's what this video is going to be about, moving forward from here on in. So let's get into the tests now. Okay, so the first mode that we are testing this with is the game mode, and I'm just going to show you that I have kept this on the game mode. Now while it's at game mode, I just want to show you a few things. Hold on. Now while it's at game mode, the judder has been kept off, and that's why the input lag is at the fastest. And I'll show you that from the internal settings as well. Now as you can see, the game motion plus is off. That means the judder is off. And I'm just going to show you the screen. This is perhaps a good screen where we can take a look at how the image quality actually looks, because it's got this slow motion kind of an effect. Not exactly slow motion, but the camera is panning around very slowly. And I'm just going to reduce the volume down. Okay, but as you can see, it looks good. But now what I'm going to try is I'm going to try to set the judder up to 10. So I'm going to pull up the game mode again. And I'm going to go over to the game motion plus settings. I'm going to set this to 10. All right. And now let's take a look at the image again. Again, it's moving around slowly. There's hardly any difference because there's not a lot of motion happening. And there's the camera panning around, but it's panning around very slowly. So there's not much of a difference that you can actually notice. However, let's do something. Now let's go over to the settings and turn the game mode off. And let's see how that impacts this image quality or the video. So the game mode, as you can see, has been turned off, and I can notice an immediate difference, and that difference is in the motion smoothness. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick this up, but I clearly can see a difference when it comes to the motion smoothness. Now the dynamic picture mode with the judder set to 10, and I'm going to show you that as well. Let's go over to the settings. As you can see, the picture mode is in dynamic. It's also got HDR going for it right now. And in the picture settings, sorry, not this one, in the expert settings, that is, and moving over the picture clarity settings, the judder reduction has been kept at 10.
I've mentioned in my previous section as well, I never switch this LED clear motion on because it creates this very bad backlight flickering, and it has a very headache inducing effect, especially to my eyes. I don't know, how you experience it. In case you have this television, you try that feature out, do let me know. But for me, it just doesn't work. But as you can see, the dynamic picture mode with the judder set to 10, in my personal opinion, has the best motion smoothness. And this image looks absolutely fantastic. In fact, it actually looks better than the game mode, if you ask me. So this is when there's hardly any camera action going, meaning that the character is not moving around, the camera is simply panning 360 degrees but very slowly. But even in this environment, in this scenario, I actually can make the difference out. Now I am gonna move the character around in this next segment, and I'm gonna make sure that he runs, he walks, and we're gonna do the same exercise, which means try the same types of settings and then see how it impacts the motion smoothness. Now in this kind of an environment, the best setting is the dynamic picture mode with motion smoothness or judder set to 10. Let's move over to the next test with the character moving around. Okay, now let's try to move this character around. I'm still in the dynamic picture mode and I have the judder set to 10, all right, which is the maximum. So now I'm just gonna try and move this character around. I'm first gonna start with walking. And now I'm gonna move over to running or jogging and then running. And finally, I'm gonna sprint. Okay, we're gonna slow this video down as well a little later on, and we're gonna see the difference. I'm gonna slow this down to almost half the speed, and I'm gonna see how that impacts this video. Of course, I'm gonna change the settings, and I'm gonna let you know how this works. But now let's move over to the other setting, which is, let's say, turn it back to game mode. All right, so we're gonna turn it back to game mode and then see what happens. All right, so now I'm turning it back to game mode, and let's go over to the picture clarity settings and see what picture clarity settings I've kept it on. So I have still got the judder set to the maximum, and I'm gonna come out of this settings menu, and now I'm gonna move around exactly the way I did, starting with the slow walk. So here's the slow walk. I'm gonna start to jog, run, and then finally I'm gonna start sprinting. Okay, now what I notice is that in this particular mode, the motion smoothness is not as good as the dynamic picture mode. I'm surprised. Now, this is supposed to be the game mode, all right? So this is supposed to be perhaps the best mode for gaming, but I don't think this is the best mode for gaming, at least not to my eyes when I'm taking a look at it right in front of the television. Of course, now I can make out the difference. The camera might not be able to pick that up, but I can say for sure that the dynamic picture mode is better than the game mode with the judder set to 10. Now let's try something else as well. Let's try to reduce the judder and see what happens to the video quality. What I want to talk about is, if you take a look at that input lag meter, it now reads as fast, but let's go over to this motion plus settings and turn this off now. All right, we're going to come back to that screen again, which is the game settings panel. And now the input lag is at its fastest. Now let's take a look at how this works, starting with the slow walk, moving over to the fast walking, jogging, running. All right, let's try to run and sprint. Okay, there's hardly any difference that I can notice between this and the judder set to 10. I'm not sure whether the judder reduction is actually working in game mode or not. I think it's not, because I don't see any difference. I'm gonna slow the video down as well. Obviously, as I've told you, I'm gonna run this video in slow motion as well and see if the judder reduction is actually taking place or not, or working or not. I don't think it is. Let's start with the same process. I'm going to show you that we're still on the game mode, and while we're on game mode, the judder is set at 0, so no judder reduction at all. And we're going to start with the test. Same process. I'm going to slow walk, a very slow walk, in fact, a little faster. All right, time to run now, boy, and run. All right, so now I'm running. Okay, I think this is good enough for this test. Let's turn around and run back, and now try out the other setting. So we're gonna go back to the bridge, and we're gonna start right here. All right, I think this is where we were. All right, folks, so we're still on game mode, and this time what I am doing is setting the setting the judder reduction rather to 10, which is the maximum. And let's get back to the game. I can see no difference at all, in fact. Now, for me, I'm not looking at it on the camera, I'm actually looking at it on the television, and I see no difference. So now this confirms my theory that the judder reduction actually does not work while it's in game mode, for sure. All right, let's turn around and run back to the place where we started. Yup. Well, those wheels look good. Those wheels will come handy when we're doing the taking a look at those wheels will come handy when we're doing the dynamic picture mode. And if the judder reduction actually works in this game, then these wheels can actually help you find out the difference. Okay, so this is the final test. And now what we're gonna do is set the game mode off. As you can see, I've turned the game mode off. And now the judder, okay, to confirm whether the judder is on or off. Okay, so let's find that out as well. Expert settings, picture clarity settings, judder is set to the maximum. And now let's get back to the game and do the same process again. And wow, I can immediately notice the difference. And again, I'm seeing this on the television, not on the camera. everything is super smooth, super silky smooth. Wow. And remember I told you to take a look at the wheels. Thankfully there are a lot of cars going past me, so just take a look at the wheels and you will understand what I mean by the extra super silky smoothness. Whoa, this is smooth. This is really good. This makes your content look like it's running at 60 frames per second. And I'm confident that when I slow this video down, all of you will be able to make that difference out. Right now I'm seeing this on the television, not on the camera. So I don't know if the camera is really picking it up well, but I'm confident that once I slow this content down, I mean bring the speed down to, let's say, half, you also will be able to find out the difference. And again, look at all the NPC characters, look at those horses, look at the wheels especially. When I slow this video down and when I do a side-by-side comparison of these different settings on the screen, I want you to especially take notice of the wheels on this game, because I'm confident that, you know, for an object which is moving at that speed, the judder reduction will make a difference. In fact, I can already see it through my naked eyes that the judder reduction definitely makes a difference, and it's working absolutely. In this dynamic picture mode, it's definitely working. This gives you the feeling that you are playing this game in 4K 60, in fact, because this TV actually upscales your content to 4K. So even 1080p content, it actually upscales to 4K, and everything looks sharp. Everything looks so neat, clean, crisp and clear in this dynamic picture mode with your judder set to 10. I mean, this is amazing. This is fantastic. Let's just run some other picture modes as well, just for this last game. I'm curious to find out how it impacts the content. So I'm gonna just change it to standard mode, and the judder is still set to 10. The motion smoothness, it's still good. In the natural picture mode, motion smoothness, still good. In the movie mode, no, it does not have the motion smoothness. Nope. In the filmmaker mode also, it does not have the motion smoothness. I'm just gonna go over to settings and actually find out if the judder is off or not. Yes, in the picture clarity settings, the judder was off. So I can see this, you know, and my eyes can actually figure out the difference. And now let me switch the mode back to dynamic, and bam, an immediate difference. Wow, this is a significant difference. And I'm sure if you buy this TV, then the best mode that I have personally found is the dynamic picture mode with the judder set to 10. Now I'm surprised, because it's not the game mode which is giving me the best output through my PS4 Pro. Now, please note that these tests have been done on the PS4 Pro. I do not have a PC. I do not have an Xbox Series S or an X, unfortunately. Therefore, I would not even be able to show you whether the VRR is actually working fine or not. And in fact, I can't even test out the 1080p 120Hz claim that this TV makes. But this TV is capable of 120Hz and 1080p. It comes with HDMI 2.0, not 2.1. And it also comes with variable refresh rate, but there is no variable refresh rate option on the PS4 or the PS5 as well. So I can't really test that theory out or that claim out. But I can say with absolute confidence that it's not the game mode which is giving me the best picture quality when I'm playing these games. It's actually the dynamic picture mode with the judder set to 10, which is the maximum. This is the best mode for playing your games. And again, everything is so smooth that now I want to go back to my older titles and pull those older titles up and replay some of them in this 60 FPS glory, you could say. And even older games with 1080p upscaled to 4K. I mean, this is incredible, absolutely incredible. I mean, I am baffled by the results that this is giving me. This is so good. I mean, the motion smoothness is just outstanding. I'm panning the camera just so that, or moving the camera around just so that you could find out and notice the difference. It's mind-blowing, guys. So this is the best mode, the dynamic picture mode with the judder set to 10. Now let's take a look at all these tests that we have done in slow motion. I'm gonna slow the speed down and reduce it by half, and then put these screens side by side so that you can also figure out the difference.
Now the question then is, if you're a casual gamer, do you really need to spend the extra money and get the Samsung AU9070? Because hey, you've got the dynamic picture mode even on the Samsung AUE70, which is way cheaper, because the price of this TV is actually 54K, but with a lot of discounts and cashbacks, you can actually get it at 51K. So if you compare a 54K television to a television with, again, the discounts and cashbacks, the Samsung AUE70 can be bought even at 34 to 35K, which is a whopping 20,000 lower than this. Yes, it does not have a dedicated game mode, but it does benefit from having that judder reduction and that motion smoothness. And from what we could see in this video, the dynamic picture mode with the judder reduction set to 10 works quite well for games, and it gives you that smooth feeling, or that 60 FPS feel. So if you are a casual gamer, if you've got a PS4, a PS4 Pro, or you are in that PS ecosystem, even a PS5, I don't think you really need to spend that extra money and get yourself a Samsung AU9070. I think you should be happy with the Samsung AUE70 or even the Samsung AU8000, but there's again not much of a difference between the AU8000 and the AUE70. So at this stage, I would say it makes more sense, if you're a PS4 gamer, to go with the AUE70 instead of this television. Well, the dynamics change if you've got a PC. If you've got a Series S or X, then you can still give this television a go and take advantage of that 1080p 120Hz and also the variable refresh rate. Alright folks, so that brings me to the end of this video. I know I do not, again, have a current gen console like Series X, S or the PS5. So maybe, the television has not been able to truly take advantage of the current gen consoles, but I did do my best to let you know about what this TV is capable of as much as I could with my gaming environment and my gaming kit. I hope this video has been informative. I hope this video helps you in making that informed decision whether or not you should buy the Samsung AU9070. Now, having said that, as I do in all my videos, I make these videos on the weekends and I generally stay busy Monday through Saturdays. So it takes a lot of effort to make these videos and to put this content out for you lovely folks. It would really motivate and encourage me if you could kindly hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. I thank you for your love, I thank you for your support, and keep chatting with me in the comments section. Feel free to ask me anything about this television and I will be more than happy to come back to you as soon as I can. Now, this is me signing off for this video because it's a wrap for this one. Until we meet again in the next video folks, take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.